I'm Jordan Miles. I'm actually honored to be speaking to you guys. I've never spoke about real estate before, not to a group of people, but yeah, Millie wanted me to speak because I've done a couple deals now, which is surreal. We bought our first property. When I say we is always my wife and I. That's my only partner right now. She's my better half. She couldn't be here because we got two little boys. One is coming up on 2 years old in February, the other 6 months old. And they were losing their minds about 30 minutes ago, so bless her. But I want to just kind of talk about a few things that I wish I would have known and kind of help you guys speed through. I don't know where you guys are at in your journey, what you want to do, but I feel like these are some key things, no matter where you're at, it would kind of help you to know. So, creative financing, that's what got me into real estate, meaning I had no freaking money. But like, what is creative financing? In real estate, creative financing is non-traditional or uncommon means of buying land or property. The goal of creative financing is generally to purchase or finance property with the buyer/investor using as little of his own money as possible, otherwise known as leveraging. Got that straight out of Google. But it's true. This learning about creative financing is what allowed me to get in real estate. My wife's side has a little bit more money, but I did not grow up with any money, and I did not get monetary help. But I can't say we did this on our own. Everyone has been super, super helpful and encouraging along the way. And I couldn't have done it without dozens of people pushing me and encouraging me. But here are some creative financing strategies. If you want to take a screenshot of this and look them up, I'm not going to go into all of them. But definitely on your own time to see which would help you in your different investing niches or what you want to do. The top one's kind of funny, it's infinite banking. I'm not going to talk about that much today. That's what I do on the side. I work for a financial company out of Homewood in Birmingham. We specialize in infinite banking. If Millie wants me to talk about that another day, bless her, maybe we'll do that. But these are the key strategies that I learned from Peter Harris right here, and I included the link to his website. I want to give that guy a lot of credit. I learned a ton from him on his YouTube. I actually took his $10,000 course. Don't do it. Don't do what I did. The course I thought was supposed to really mentor me, kind of like one-on-one. What I saw, the $10,000 value was like, hey man, I'm about to purchase this and put people's lives into a building. If I get in trouble, can I call you? You know what I mean? I wanted that like support, like I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, what happened was you get a group call once a week with like 50 other people and you all get to gripe and complain. I was like, oh, this is not helpful at all. So the $10,000 though made my wife and I figure it out and buy a property with what he taught us, which was very valuable. And it made us commit. And so we did get our first property. But these are some of the best strategies. You can find more, but those are some really great ones. We use primarily these, what do you call it? The second and third one. The owner carry first mortgage and owner carry second mortgage. So this is our first deal, my first deal. It was a fourplex over in Cordova. My wife and I found it by doing what Peter Harris recommended. We sent out these postcards. So he recommended we make we get a birthday card envelope, not a bill. You know, nobody wants to open a freaking bill, man. So a birthday card, like a brown paper bag kind of style, you know. We put our own our address with like a sticker. Like the sticker was like a beach too. So it looked like someone were to talk to you, legit. And we would handwrite the address. And then on the inside, we did print out the letter. And in the letter, it would be like, hi, this is Victoria and I. And we had like a picture of us with a baby. We want to get into real estate. We're hungry, we're go-getters. Kind of talked about our backing a little bit. Like, we do have family who loves us. We're not entirely broke. We are broke, but we're not entirely broke. We know somebody with money. And so we had a good response from that. We would sign it, you know, so there was personalized stuff in there so someone would open it. But we had a lot of people reach out to us, and God bless Mr. Barton, number one, who really helped me get in this deal, the man who owned this property. We had lunch twice because I had cold feet the first time. I didn't know what I was doing, but we got lunch the second time. He already told me what the number was. He's like, man, I want $325 for this thing. I was like, oh, I'll get back to you. Well, we finally sat down at lunch, and I had a folder full of different comps to show how he was overpriced and we were going to negotiate. I slid it across the table, and I was like, I'll give you your numbers if you give me my terms. He said, I'm listening. And so we go into the deal, the numbers. So I knew it was a deal because he asked for $325, and the current rents were $2,500 a month for all 4 units. And the expenses are about $635. That's without a landscaper, a property manager, or a mortgage. Because I did all that. I was a property manager and I was a landscaper. So I knew it was a deal, and so that's why I told him, I'll give you your numbers if you just help me out. And so the deal, the terms that we did, I asked him to carry the primary mortgage, straight seller financing. And I would recommend never asking somebody for seller financing, because that makes them feel like I'm the bank and I don't know you, blah, blah, blah. Say creative financing. Creative financing opens up a door to a different conversation, and you can kind of negotiate, as I've learned from now. But purchase price of $325, I gave him $10,000, that was all we had. And then we're gonna do a monthly payment of $1,000 towards the principal and $500 of interest for 2 years. So we're coming up on our first year of owning it. It's gone extremely well. But I will have to refinance it in 2024. But that was the deal. I told him, like, this is my goal, this is what I want to do. And by being transparent, he said, sure. And I was shocked. I was like, no way. But I was very shocked and incredibly thankful to Mr. Barton for letting me get into real estate with $10,000. I mean, normally with a regular mortgage, we're talking $65,000, $75,000. So the numbers, the monthly income was $2,500. The expenses plus the mortgage, $2,135. My cash flow was $365, and my equity, you know, because my equity is getting paid down, $1,000 a month. So that's kind of the benefit of the deal right off the bat. We win in that equity every month. But the current numbers, so now I've bumped up my rents to about $925 per unit, not about $925 a unit. So we're getting $3,700 a month. So that's sweet. That took time, that took effort. I personally was out there. I was mowing the lawns. I freaking painted that back deck that never ended. Just kept getting bigger, I swear. I've laid the flooring myself. Now we're paying people to do those things, but I did it, and I think it's important to do it to know what your contractors are going through. But I did all that. I did the trim. My cash flow now on this first property is $2,450 a month. My equity's still $1,000 a month in my pocket. And on top of that, really the big value is the equity I added, because now this property can afford more debt. We could go deep into that another time, but I've added value by raising how much debt they can afford. So it's about $65,000 worth more now that I've done this work and raised the rents. And that's based on 8% cap rate. And a cap rate, for those who don't know, it's net operating income divided by the market value. So that was February. Deal number 2. And these are the only 2 we've done so far. But deal number 2, we closed in August, I want to say. My wife and I were sitting there on Zillow looking at multifamily listings, like, all right, well, what we're gonna do. This thing's like around the corner, and we live like a mile that way. So we're like, oh, let's go look at it. So it's not the prettiest thing in the world. It looks kind of like a cloud in my eyes. It's white, yellow, and green roof, but it was a deal. I knew it was a deal because I learned how to analyze that. I would definitely recommend figure out how to tell what a deal is, and then get proof as well. So we've got several mentors, and I would present these to them, and they would verify me from their experience, not on my own, like, yes, Jordan, that's a deal. And then that would give me the confidence to go do it. I didn't say on the first deal, I went to Savannah, Georgia to meet one of my dad's clients, and I was like, Walter, I really want to do this. And he's like, Jordan, shut up and go talk to that doctor. Go talk to that man. He's a farmer. He's not going to steer you wrong. And he gave me that push that I needed to go and take action. But deal number 2. So the numbers. It was listed for $485,000. The current rents were $5,800, which I knew were pretty low, and I knew I could raise the rents.
And this is an 8-plex, right?
Yeah, this is 8 units here in Jasper. The expenses are about $2,000 a month. That's the water, the insurance, taxes, trash, property manager, and landscaper. So now we've got our system in place. I'm not doing any of that stuff anymore. So I can already really quickly know what the expenses on this place are going to be. So this is the deal. This one got me really, it stretched me. It took about 4 months to purchase this thing, just back and forth. And God bless that seller. He's from California. He's never been to Alabama. So I was like, man, I live a mile away. And he's like, I see you're a hustler, you're a young guy, you know. He worked with me. His wife about shot me, but he worked with me. Because I had changed the deal so many times, just trying something, and we could never really get the money. The money was always the issue. So what we did is, oh, I'm sorry. It wasn't, I forgot to end the first one. It was seller carries second mortgage. So the bank is financing 75% of the property value, which is $363,000, for 8.5% for 30 years. And so the seller is holding for me as a second mortgage or a second lien on the property, $121,000, and they said no interest, no payments for 3 years. So it was pretty sweet. I mean, he's really put a lot of faith in me. And the extra $10,000 I put over there. So the bank need to see money move. They're like, you're a young guy and whatnot, but like, you can't just say the seller's holding that mortgage for you. They're like, we need to see some money move, man. So what happened was, I got in contact with a guy named Matthew Gregory, who, I love that man. We went to lunch. I told him all this. I was like, really want to do this? He said, yeah, no problem. I'll give you 125 grand for 5 minutes. Basically, that money went to the attorney, and then they swapped that money for another lien on the property. And that money went right back to Matthew Gregory, and I gave him 10 grand for like 5 minutes. So easy 10 grand on his money. And it got me in this deal. So the dollars now, I mean, this is very recent. I've only had one tenant leave. Actually, we just cleaned out the unit today. The first tenant who's left, so we're gonna start raising rents as people start to leave and we start to clean up the place. Monthly income is still $5,800. My expenses plus the mortgage now is $5,062. So my cash flow is only about $738, and my equity is $500. I didn't put the pro forma, but we'll probably be cash flowing about $2,000 by the end of 2024. So if things go my way, and you know I'm gonna force it to go my way, it should be a really good deal. So, conclusion, I want you guys to check out Peter Harris on YouTube. Learn the several strategies so you know what fits individual sellers' needs, because it's really about them when you're trying to get in with no money, not really about you. And then don't be scared to do a deal. I was super nervous, but I'm so thankful for everyone along the way who's like pushed me into them. They've all worked out. They didn't die, not yet. And I still have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just learning as I go. And I'm just thankful, you know, because I've spent years on YouTube watching all these people, but now I'm speaking to you guys, and it's just kind of really fulfillment, you know, of the process. And I hope to give back one day, just like all these other people did to me. So just do it. Thank you guys.
I like it.
Yeah. And that's the link to my website. I'm building it out a little bit still, but it should work. Talks a little bit about infinite banking and real estate.